So here is my last video of 2020. I made a decent amount of videos this year, and this channel has grown tremendously considering where I started January 1st. So I thought it'd be cool to do a recap video and share with you some of the progress that this channel has made and that I've made as a photographer this year. So at the start of this year, I had around 20 videos uploaded. I had around 50 or so followers, and I only had around 1,000 views on my photography specific videos. And as of December 27th, the day that I'm recording this, I've gained over 1,000 new subscribers this year. So I broke that 1,000 subscriber mark a week or two ago, which was really, really cool. I've gained over 100,000 channel views total, and I've uploaded over 60 something videos just this year alone. I don't have any specific subscriber goal for this channel. I just really want to find the audience that might be looking for these videos. I figured these photography specific categories that I'm interested in, these cameras that I'm interested in, and all these subjects that I really enjoy exploring, that there are people that might feel the same way. So my whole goal is just to find as many as them and connect with them or you as possible. But to have over 1,000 subscribers is just really, really cool. I was having some modest goals to reach by the end of the year, and I was really uncertain if 1,000 was even feasible for a channel like mine. So I appreciate every single one of you. Some of you have been around since last year or maybe even earlier. I know this channel has evolved slightly. I was really film camera heavy in the beginning, and especially once I got my X-T1, I was deep into the Fujifilm stuff and still am. So that transition may have lost a few subscribers, but my whole goal is just anything photography related, and that will be film. That's film photography, Fujifilm digital photography, Canon digital photography, etc., and so on. So I'm happy that you've connected with this channel in general, and hope you stick with it. So along with recapping my YouTube stats, I also went back and analyzed some of my other photography related achievements or goals or changes throughout this year. Out of all the cameras I've talked about, reviewed, and shot with this year, I've noticed that one digital camera and one film camera really stick out as the cameras I tend to shoot with the most. The digital camera I shot with the most this year, and it's not even close, surprisingly, well, maybe not surprisingly, is the X-T1. I say surprisingly at first because I've only had this for half of the year. So, I mean, I didn't shoot a ton maybe when quarantine first started, and maybe that's partly why, but the reality is getting this really just inspired me to shoot with it a lot, as much as I can, even if I just take it out of the house and just randomly shoot anything as I'm going about my day, going to work, coming home from work, that type of thing. So this by far has been my most used digital camera this year. And for the second year in a row, that means it's a Fujifilm digital body has taken the majority of my digital photos. So this is the X-T1, which, like I said, I got around June or so, and I made a video on that. Made a couple of videos on that, I think. So if you haven't checked those out, go revisit those. It's an amazing camera, and it's really, really fun to use. When I first got it, it made me want to try an X-T2 again, because I had one, and like I've said before, I only sold it so I could get the XH1. But I really like this one. I think I mean I'm gonna be in no hurry really to get rid of this one if I ever do get rid of it. So the X-T1 has been really a really good tool for me to get a lot of photos taken. And the film camera that I've used the most this year is the Canon Elan 7. I reviewed this when I was in the midst of reviewing all these Canon film cameras, and this just checks a lot of boxes for me, and I just really enjoy using it. It's compact, it's well built, I think. It has all the key features I would want in a film camera, and it takes these great lenses, the Nifty 50 that I love using, and the 40mm 2.8, and it's just really fun to use, and clearly it's been my favorite this year. All those Canon film cameras are really solid, and you really can't go wrong with any of them for the most part. But this has just been one that keeps resurfacing as my go-to camera in that lineup. So this has been my most popular film camera this year. So another thing that was really cool photography-wise this year, in terms of film photography specifically, was, and this was probably my biggest photography goal going into 2020, was I wanted to get my home darkroom set up. I wanted to print photos in the darkroom. Having darkroom prints of some of my film photos was my main photography goal for 2020. And I was able to start that early on in the year, and now we're almost done with the year, and I feel pretty confident in my current workflow of creating prints in the darkroom. Here's just a few samples of some of the stuff I created. Some of this you've seen if you've seen the reviews of some of my film related cameras or whatnot. I know these are tough to see, but this just gives you an idea of some of the stuff I was printing. Like I said, some of this you've seen, some of it maybe you haven't. But printing stuff in the darkroom was a really, really cool thing that I was able to do this year. And it was like a mental obstacle that I overcame. I was a little intimidated by the whole thing. And knew that it wouldn't be easy, but it would totally be worth it. And it absolutely is worth it. And I'm really happy that that I've done it, and I'm going to continue to do it. And I have some goals for 2021 in mind to expand my darkroom printing and to go further with it and get a little more advanced. I'll talk about that in another video. I never want to make a big deal about, oh, I'm selling all this gear to get this gear, or I'm switching this to go to this. All that really doesn't matter in the long run, I don't think. If you find gear that works for you, it doesn't. Who cares what brand it is? If you find gear that works for you, that's great. I don't have to use the same gear that you use, and you don't have to use the same gear that I use. We're all going to have changes throughout, I think, our photography journey. Different cameras, maybe different camera brands. That's part of the fun of this whole thing. But really, when it comes down to it, they're all just photographic tools to get the image that we want to get. So that being said, for my digital photography, I did go all in on Fuji this year. I don't have a Canon digital body anymore, which was a big deal for me this year because I love the Canon stuff so much. But when I sold my last Canon digital body, I used that money to get the X-T1, and I wasn't set up to get the X-T1 at first. But my point with that is, I still had a little bit of trepidation. I was cautious about it, and I thought maybe I would regret it. And overall, I do not. I think in terms of digital photography, at least for right now, focusing on one system has allowed me to dive deeper into it, to make sure I get the lenses I need for it, to make sure I get all the accessories. And part of that was getting a cheaper body with the X-T1, and then leaving myself more room to get accessories and whatnot. So along with investing money, just investing time and creative energy into making the Fujifilm system my main digital system was a big deal this year, and it's been great. I mean, I was shooting with Fujifilm cameras before, but they always were supplementing my other gear. Now digitally, they are my main gear, my main set of cameras. And the film cameras I shoot with are still kind of random, a little bit of all over the place. But my digital cameras, as of right now, it's completely Fuji. So speaking of Fuji gear and going all in on it and learning about it and really exploring it and sharing that with you guys, I've made a lot of cool new friends, distant friends right now, but really cool people like all of you and many of you that have commented here, some of you that have followed me on my blog and have commented there or have communicated with me through there. It's been really, really awesome to start connecting with many of you. And the other place that I'm making a lot of cool new connections is on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook and you don't know, right now I have 2 Fujifilm groups that I'm the admin for that I created. One is for X-T1 camera owners or fans of the X-T1 in general. and the other is a complete Fujifilm group. So I call it the Fujifilm Creative Collective, because it's anyone interested in using or currently using any sort of Fujifilm camera to create photography, videography, filmmaking, whatever. So those two groups have been awesome. If you are on Facebook and you want to connect with a lot of Fujifilm shooters, definitely check those out. I'll try to put those in the description below so you can easily find them. So obviously, as you've probably heard if you've watched some of my videos, I do have a blog, and my blog has like a lot of the Fujifilm film simulation recipes that I create, the custom ones I create. It has a lot of those listed there, so you can go there and find them whenever you need them. If you haven't visited the blog, check out the link in the description. And yeah, feel free to check it out, browse the blog. Let me know if I'm missing any sort of recipe, or maybe there are some tips or some other things you want to know or want me to write about or do a video about. That'd be great to hear some suggestions. But really, this is it. This is probably longer than I should have went, but it's okay. I'm really happy that all of you are here. I'm really excited that we connected like this in 2020. And I hope wherever you are that you're safe and healthy, and that you end the year on a high note. And I will make another video soon. Hopefully it will be up next week, where I look forward to 2021 and I talk to you about the things I plan on doing. So I wanted to have this to be the recap video, and then next week I'll do a what's to come in 2021 for this channel and my blog. So that's it for now. An early Happy New Year to you. I appreciate every single one of my subscribers and everyone who has watched these videos. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to do so. It's going to be a lot more photography related content to come in the new year. Talk to you soon.